Hey, howdy everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is another song request from Jojo, the same guy who requested Iapetus the Body Cosmic, which I did about a month ago. That song was pretty cool, so now I got another reaction request. This is actually two songs, but I guess they kind of go together. This is Negation Consumes Affirmation and Negation Consumes Itself by the band Cryptodira. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I don't know how else you would, if it's like Cryptodira, but that just sounds weird. So I'm going to go with Cryptodira. I know nothing about the band. I know nothing about anything, basically, with these guys, so we shall see. This is going to be interesting because it's a two-parter, and I guess the first one is kind of like an intro. So I am listening to the album version so I can hear them, because I'm assuming they're going to go into each other. So I can hear them go as one piece instead of just pulling up the YouTube video and then switching between and it breaking the flow of whatever this is, because I'm assuming that they're going to go together, considering the first two words of the titles are the same. Let's get into this. So this is from their album The Devil's Despair, which came out in 2017, and these are the last two tracks on the album. Let's see what I'm in for. Again, thanks for the request, Jojo. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Wow. Wow, this is beautiful. It's a lot of snare. Ooh. The cleans and the screams together, that's sick. Oh, no lyrics, come on. Y'all know I love emotional blast beats. Some good atmosphere. Build it. Yeah, this is fire.
Truth collapses in when we tear ourselves from it.
Ooh. The bass. It's doing the thing again. I'm not pressing that key. Just does that sometimes. Oh, I love alarm sounds like that. A lot of switch ups. Man, I'm yawning so much, sorry. I love that cymbal stuff. Are we building to something here? That's kind of what it feels like. Ooh. Fun little chaotic section there in the middle. And my head's itchy right where my headphones are. I hate when that happens. This is really cool. I know I'm not showing it on my face, like big reaction bait stuff, but I'm really enjoying this. Ooh. Very cool. All right. Okay, so that is the end of this album. Overall, I thought it was really cool. I loved the little introduction with the female vocalist. I don't know if she's like a main part of this band because she didn't really come back after that opening section. But that was super sick, and the melodies I think were good. They felt more like melodies that were filling out the instrumental part as opposed to melodies that are meant to be catchy and like have you singing along to them, which is fine. I'm more partial to the catchy sing-along melodies myself, obviously, as you know if you've watched any of my stuff. But stuff like this, it's I don't think it's bad. I just don't like it as much as like some catchier melodies. I liked the use of like the different change-ups and the sort of chaotic random nature of some of it. There were like there was like a section in like the beginning of this song, like around here-ish, that had a lot of that chaotic stuff, which I've complained about stuff that's too chaotic in things like Between the Buried and Me and Contortionist Exoplanet and things like that I don't really like. Here, I think it was done really well. I think it was chaotic with a lot of switch-ups, but it still felt cohesive throughout. It was still in the sort of the same key. It didn't use a lot of random, weird, dissonant intervals for no reason. There were very slight instances of that, but I think overall it was done very tastefully for my tastes, because I am not a fan of the stuff that feels too chaotic and too disjointed, kind of like they're trying too hard to throw a bunch of randomness together and it just feels like too much, kind of like Between the Buried and Me colors. If you saw my video on that, which is infamously hated because I absolutely despised that album. But here I think it was done really well. I liked the use of the repeated 3-chord progression that we had in there. What was that? The E flat minor, D flat minor, B. Let me adjust my keyboard here. It was a lot of that throughout the song, and this is a chord progression that I've talked about before, like a 1-7-6 in a minor key. I don't find it as emotionally gripping as I think some people do, because bands do it a lot for like really emotional parts. They'll just play this and they'll loop it and stuff, and sometimes it really works and sometimes it doesn't. I think there's something I listened to recently. I forgot what it was, but there's something I listened to recently that had the progression and I really enjoyed it and it really worked. And I think it had to do with the melody working super well with the harmony around it. This, I think, is kind of middle of the road. It's not completely horrible, but I don't think it's like the best use of that chord progression either. It's kind of like in the middle. But I did enjoy the overall atmosphere of it. I liked the different things that were done with the screams as well. There were a lot of like layered screams, especially towards the end. There was a lot of cool stuff that created this big vocal atmosphere that was pretty sick as well. And yeah, I think as of right now, I'm leaning towards like the more positive middle end of the spectrum. However, I think this is a song that will work better in the context of the entire album. So if I were to check out this entire album, which I could throw it on my Patreon poll or something, if somebody reminds me in the future, once I get that thing started up, which I will come January. But I have a lot of albums from this year I need to catch up on before I go back to the polls and stuff. So we'll see. I'm going to try to cram as many albums as I can into the end of this year, like the last couple weeks of the year before before 2025 comes, so I can actually make videos about my favorite stuff from this year, having heard a bunch of stuff from this year. But yeah, I think this would hit much more in the context of the full album, because I'd be really interested to hear if this sort of sound perpetuates throughout the album, or if there's like some nice, interesting flows and some change ups. And I think this works really, really well as an album closer. It has that emotional impact. It has those emotional blast beats. It has a lot of like big sounding, just big atmospheric impact kind of things. And it works really well as a closer. As a standalone reaction, I'm not sure how much it hits, unfortunately, but I feel like this would be really good in the context of the album. Do you know what I mean? Like if you listen to like one of my favorite albums this year, Caligula's Horse Charcoal Grace, if you listened to just Mute by itself, it's cool. It's a good song, but I don't think it hits as much if you haven't heard the entire album before Mute. And I'm not saying that like something like this has things that Mute has, like different motifs from around the album that all come together in Mute as like a big ending piece, and it switches up a lot of the motifs and stuff from previous parts of the album. I don't know if this has that, if it's like a concept album or what, or if it just happens to have this cool like outro part that's like a 10-minute big like exposition thing at the end where it's like bam, throw in a bunch of blast beats and some cool vocals and like that big atmosphere. I don't know what this is and how it plays out in the context of the album, obviously, but I'd be interested to see. As of right now, I think I'm going to give this song like a 7 or a 7.5 out of 10. I think that would be my rating. I think it was done really well. There was nothing I particularly disliked. I just would like to hear more, so I can hear what this is surrounded by, what comes before this, basically. So, all right. Well, those are my thoughts on this album. Let me know if there's anything I should know about this band, if there's any context around this or whatever, let me know. And again, thanks to JoJo for the reaction request. I really enjoyed this one. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'll see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching and catch you later. Bye-bye.